Listening to Weather with Enthusiasm.
Weather with Enthusiasm is his podcast.
Good morning. It is September 30th, 2024. We've just seen 6 consecutive days with record-breaking temperatures. The most recent was yesterday, September 29th, Sunday. High temperature 113 degrees at Sky Harbor International Airport. That breaks the record of 107 degrees. Then we go back to Saturday. High temperature was sizzling. Totally amazing. Yad Soledispo, for those that know what that means, 117 degrees Fahrenheit. That was the high temperature Saturday. If you look at AccuWeather for June and July and August for the Phoenix, Arizona area, you'll see the hottest temperature, according to the AccuWeather observations for that 3-month period, was 118 degrees. We had nothing even close when you get into most of August and for September, but all of a sudden now temperatures are getting very close to that 118 degrees. This past Saturday, 117 degrees. This summer has been something totally phenomenal. In fact, the average high temperature has been the hottest ever recorded in Phoenix, 99 degrees. That's the June, July, August average temperature. When you take the overnight lows combined with the afternoon high, we end up with an average of 99 degrees, hottest on record. Also, it was the most consecutive days of temperatures above 100 degrees and the most number of days with temperatures above at 110 or higher. Excessive heat warning again continues for the rest of the week. The National Weather Service tells us something totally amazing. They tell us that there is no end to the heat in sight. Now, that's not their exact words. Here, I'm going to read to you the exact words from the National Weather Service page, and this is Phoenix, Arizona. This is what they say. Temperatures will begin to cool slightly by the upcoming weekend, but any noticeable relief from these excessively hot conditions is not expected for the foreseeable future. They're not able to see at all. There are no computer models which indicate any detectable cool down in the Phoenix, Arizona area. That's something totally amazing because we're at the very end of September. The San Francisco National Weather Service tells us something spectacular about the October 1st through October 4th period. And it's really how the heat is originating. It's one thing to have temperatures go into the 90s, possibly even up to 97 degrees in portions of that area. But the question is, how does that happen? So many times in these late season heat waves, it happens from the surface winds coming from a certain direction. But in this case, what we also have is temperatures at 850 MB, about 5,000 feet up into the atmosphere, are 25 degrees Celsius or higher. That's 77 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. That's unseasonably hot for this time of the year. That's something we would see more in the midsummer area. So that's something which is occurring in the central California area. Another remarkable part of this heat wave is the offshore flow in the California area. Now, the offshore flow exists. At times, the offshore flow will be weak. When the offshore flow is weak, a ocean breeze could develop, what's called a sea breeze. So offshore means the winds are moving to the ocean, so the heat is brought right up to the beach. The Pacific Ocean, it's brought right up there in this time of the year. Any time of the year, that's something which is also really significant. So temperatures going in some areas in San Francisco well into the 90s. That's, the records hold at 97. Phoenix, Arizona's hottest September all-time high was reached this past Saturday, September 28th, at 117 degrees Fahrenheit, something really spectacular. If you look at the July temperatures, we have seen a slight cool down from July. Temperatures, the overnight lows in July ranged from about 82 to 94 degrees, and we have been seeing overnight lows dropping under 80 degrees in Phoenix. But this week, temperatures, overnight lows look to stay 80 degrees or higher. Yuma, Arizona, looking for a high today, 111. Phoenix, Arizona, 108, but the temperatures rise above 110 again by tomorrow. So we see those temperatures fluctuate from 108 degrees to 111 for much of this week in the Phoenix, Arizona area, along with Yuma and other portions of Arizona, southeast California as well. The other highlight, and for most people this is even a bigger highlight, is the 32 inches of rain that occurred in North Carolina from a hurricane over the past couple of days. Very intense stuff, with 11 inches over in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, the India Meteorological Bureau over there considers any time you have 8 inches of rain or higher, they consider that a very exceptional rain event. It's a little bit under 8 inches for that area. They'll issue a higher warning. The warnings for rainfall, for heavy rainfall, reach a new criteria when you hit about 8 inches of rain. So we've here in the southeast, where we're not so familiar with the heavy rains that occur in India, but we've reached that criteria in the southeastern portions of the United States and into the southern portions of the mid-Atlantic area when you head into Carolina, of more than 30 inches of rain. You can check the AccuWeather. They have, of course, all the details. Probably the Washington Post and other sources as well will have all of those. National Weather Service for sure. Actually, National Weather Service will have all the details of the exact amount of rain, along with the wind speeds, and a dozen tornadoes may have formed as the hurricane on the southeast has moved in. Another tropical storm is in the process of developing. Meteorologists are watching that tropical storm as well. There's plenty more going on, but those are some of the highlights that we'd like to focus on this podcast, especially the heat in the southwest portions of the United States. I want to point out one other thing, is that right now we're in a time of the year when the nights are longer than the days. It's not just we have less solar insolation due to the lower sun angle occurring everywhere in the United States. The nights are also longer than the days. Now, another thing to point out is that it's not just that the nights are longer than the days, but much of the day, part of the day, the sun is so low, it's almost like night. The temperatures continue to drop. When you hit most areas at sunrise, the temperatures will continue to drop about an hour into the day, and the temperatures drop in the evening. So it's really, the nights are significantly longer than the days. The hours where temperatures are dropping are significantly longer than temperatures rising, and yet we still have temperatures going well into the 110s across Phoenix, Arizona, for this upcoming week. Something very remarkable. This is due to compressional warming, which is occurring due to a heat dome, a strong high pressure over that area. But to know why exactly we have such record-shattering heat, like 113 yesterday, previous record 107, which, by the way, record highs are expected every single day this week in Phoenix. Just about. I think there might be one day where it may not be a record high. To understand that, we would need to, with that, we can't explain at this time. I wish everybody a wonderful day, and stay safe. Several additional feet of snow is expected by Monday morning. Yes! We have a powerhouse typhoon which has developed off in the Pacific Ocean. A big shockaroo to many of you. This is especially true in regards to what's going to be going on in Alaska. We have parts of the world that are so hot right now. Temperatures are expected to go into the low 130s. Here we have a special guest on our show. What is your name?
Kitabis.
A heat wave that's going to be headed to the Eilat area. We're going to have to wait before we get into the next excitement. We're going from one extreme to the next extreme. 27.1 barometric pressure. Feet of snow are falling in Japan.
Oh my gosh.
Weather. That's a time of celebration. Just Google weather with enthusiasm and they're all going to come up.